New coach in town for the Lakers, JJ Redick, man. Did he hop on a Zoom call with you yet and tell you to shoot that thing or what?
No, not yet, but I don't need nobody to tell me that.
Yeah. The founder of Rare Soul Kennels. Where did this appetite for getting involved in this stuff start?
Honestly, I think it comes from my younger days of really not having much, you know what I'm saying?
You were like, let's go to Ukraine to get the dog? Like, well, there was no dogs available in Dallas?
My kids help so much, they don't even realize it. All the puppies we get, my kids get first dibs, so.
What value are you bringing to families through Rare Soul?
The ability to have a dog that you know is going to be loyal to you and your family, and that's the difference I want to make. These dogs can be super loving and smart. My number one stud right now, he just came from Serbia.
That dog Jokic. Got the Jokic dog.
Right.
Let's go, baby. This is another episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast. I'm your host, Noah Lack, and I bring on your favorite athletes to chat about a business topic. Today, we got my guy, a former Baylor Bear University alum, Los Angeles Lakers forward, and the founder of Rare Soul Kennels. If you haven't checked out Taurean Prince's dog breeding company in the Dallas area, you better do so, and we'll talk about it today. But Taurean, man, thanks so much for joining the pod, brother.
No, man, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's get to small talk, man. Your favorite Texas-based hooper all time?
Ooh, that's an easy one. Isaiah Austin.
Isaiah Austin, man.
Yeah, you see how you popped the light bulb in here, right?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
He was like, I know we call Katie Slim Reaper, but like, dude,
he was a unicorn before we started calling people unicorns. 100%.
Man, he went to.
And he also had the best handles as a Baylor Bear, no matter what position.
What?
For sure.
More than Pierre?
No, not more. Not more than Pierre.
Come on, man.
More than everybody but Pierre. Pierre was just different though.
So, what did he always have that handle? Because he was a little before me, but I didn't watch him in, like, he was a couple years before we played Grace in high school.
Right.
Was he like that in high school?
He always had that handle. He was playing 3-4 in high school, so coming in, he had it all.
Jesus, yeah, and I wish he played in the league, man. He's the only player that I recall who had Marfan syndrome, but he's not the only 7-footer out there. So I don't understand why it wasn't more common.
A lot behind that stuff, man. A lot behind that stuff. But thanks to the man above, he was cleared to play basketball by his doctors some years ago. So he's had his time, and he was able to kind of live his dream overseas and do the things he wanted to do basketball wise. So that was a blessing in itself.
When I went to the Baylor camps growing up, like Isaiah Austin, that was like the Shaq of that was like the big man on campus.
100%. For sure. And
you know what's cool? He is a customer of yours, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yep.
No doubt. Which will
as far as him being a customer, he definitely has one of my puppies that we produced January 24th, I believe, of 2023. And so I had her over here last week, and she's a big girl now. So it's good to see the transition and how good he's taking care of her.
Damn, you remember the date like it was yesterday.
Sure. You have to.
Have to. Okay. Well, we'll definitely get more into that because that's why we're here. But I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, Taurean. New coach in town for the Lakers, JJ Redick, man. Give me your thoughts on the new coaching change and what we should expect going forward.
Yeah, well, this is my second time having a ex-player, third as an ex-player as a head coach. So the mindset of having that free ability to do what you want offensively and just have some continuity and obviously play hard on defense. They kind of give you the reins to float around and just hoop and play basketball, play fast, and I think that's what he's going to bring to the table.
Did he hop on a Zoom call with you yet and tell you to shoot that thing or what?
No, not yet, but
It's
I
coming.
don't need nobody. I don't need nobody to tell me that.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, he's gotta have that mindset, right? I mean, the dude that
For
was his
sure.
role.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a faster pace, especially with the different lineups we possibly could have, and even though I'm a free agent, it's definitely the spot where I would want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's crazy that, and I think you mentioned this in a previous podcast, that if y'all had the same record this year as the year before, you would have been third in the West.
Yeah, it's crazy how good the competition is, and everybody's hooping, and the teams that are being put together are good. So the GMs are doing high level business and making the conference definitely one of the best. But the East took it this year, so we got some revenge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if the West wasn't a complete bloodbath, I mean, we may have seen a different outcome. But
No, you may have a chance for sure.
yeah, I mean, but you're
Tough.
right. It is what it is. The East won. But so you're spending your summer right now in Fort Worth, correct? Or I mean, you probably float around, but is this home base for you right now?
Yeah, it's one of my home bases that me and my family love to come to, and we had a lot of family out here. Really, both my wife and our children. We got both sides of our family out here, and then we also like to go down to Miami sometimes towards the end. That's where I get a lot of my work in prior to the season.
Oh yeah, at the University of Miami, they got like Remy workouts and stuff down there.
Yeah, I
Right.
work with my guy TSG Taylor Sports Group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work with him. Get a good 4 weeks in before getting back to work.
No, for sure, for sure. Have you always been business minded? I mean, did it start at Baylor? Where did this? Because you do real estate, you have Project 22, and you have Rare Soul
Right.
Kennels, which we'll probably cover the bulk of today.
Yeah.
Where did this appetite for getting involved in this stuff start?
Man, honestly, I think it comes from my younger days of really not having much, you know what I'm saying? So when I was in a position to have what I have now, I just want to really build as many pots as possible before the game is over for me. Obviously, I take it year for year. I prepare year by year, and that's how I live my life, kind of more so in the moment than looking too far down the road. So just trying to build as many pots as possible for me and my family and I to continue to live how we want and do the things we want.
Well, at Baylor, I mean, when you played, and not to date you because I'm in the same boat, but no NIL at that point, right? So it's not like you are. Oh, let me say this lightly. It's not like you're getting a legal bag at Baylor, right?
Yeah, no, no, not at all.
So like you're not really compelled or pushed at that point probably to start a clothing brand or put some money into, DeSoto, up and coming properties. Was there anything at Baylor that showed you that it could be possible while you're playing, or do we have to pick it up in the NBA?
Yeah, I think it was more so. I mean, like I said, I'm an in the moment guy. So during college, I mean, the last thing I was thinking about was an investment. I was really thinking about getting to a point where my mother, my younger siblings, we didn't have to live a certain way, and like I said, there's no NIL, or like you said, there's no NIL. So back then we were getting checks for $500, having to send this back home, making sure this is here, but also try to take care of myself. So when I got to a position where I could have some funds and do different things, that's when I started to try to be unique in the way I did it, and take my time and do the right things as far as investments. I've made mistakes, obviously, but they've helped me get to a point where now I'm focused on just a few pots right now, and I'm really focused on trying to scale those, and haven't gotten to the tech world, but
Hey, tap
definitely
in
I'm
anytime you want,
always
man.
in.
Tap in.
Yeah, man, it's one of those things I'm interested in, but just don't know enough about. So that's definitely a conversation we can have.
Yeah, for sure. We like to talk about vets a lot with sort of the NBA guys and kind of that influence of and some of the vets in the NBA,
Yeah.
like Uncle Thaddeus, shout out Thaddeus, doing a bunch of different stuff
Right.
across the board. I guess, starting out Atlanta, right? Like any vets there that kind of exposed you and helped you to doing, what you're doing now?
Not really. I think it was more so myself, the people around me, the curiosity I had in myself. But I can't say those guys definitely helped me as far as molding the mindset and regimen I have to be in the league and to where I am today. I came in and my locker mate was Paul Millsap and Kyle Korver,
Oh,
two
nice.
guys who really never talked, but the things they did, I picked up on ASAP. And I've always been a sponge to the good and bad. So being able to filter out what doesn't fit me or what I don't like or what I know isn't for me. They were two great examples. Thabo
Yeah.
Sefolosha from a defensive standpoint. And you just had a lot of guys in there with the right mindset. You know what I mean? I think that's a big reason.
So it sounds like they instilled sort of the intangible, the mindset piece that was still translatable for basketball. And then you're like, okay, now that I have this foundation of like what it looks like to be a pro, then we can sort of apply it to the other stuff.
Right, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I see, and like, for example, with Project 22, I know Royce O'Neal is involved with that as well, right? And you guys have sort of shared the same brand. I mean, did the Baylor alums kind of meet later on and was like, hey, now we got a little more dinero, like, let's collab and make something cool?
Right. No, actually, Royce just is a super great ambassador for the brand. He does a good job of supporting us, and that's our guy, like you say. So we appreciate him more than anything. But it's really Deuce Bello.
Deuce,
He
yeah.
created the brand. Yeah, he created the brand from the bottom up, and he blessed me with the opportunity to kind of get in on it and give my expertise and my resources to allow him to continue to scale what he's been doing. But it's been a great relationship. Obviously, you see, I got a hoodie on right now. This is part of our last drop, gray area. So he does a lot of different things, and we got a drop coming out soon too. So
Okay. Well, we'll
super excited about that.
make sure you send us some links. We'll plug that in so we can, we can stay tuned for the drop.
Yeah, I got you.
So, like, were you a dog guy growing up? I mean, did you have pets growing up?
Yeah, I had snakes, dogs, and then as I got older and I moved away from my father back with my mother, I kind of got away from the pets. She wasn't having that. So when I got to the league, I was able to be in a space and enough in a comfortable situation where I could get a puppy. And my first female Corso, I actually wanted to have puppies. And for some reason, she wasn't taken and wasn't able to get pregnant. So in my mind, I hate when I ask somebody to do something or I go to somebody for something I want and it doesn't turn out good. I'd rather just do it myself. So that's kind of where Rare Soul took flight and that idea came about. And now we just really produce pets to where they can just be pet companions. And if you want Corso, that's a protection dog. Of course, all dogs have it in them, so you'd have to start early and train them for at least a year and a half to 2 years to even have that ability to see those type of things and react. But for the most part, we just sell our dogs to be family pets.
Yeah. We'll get to the dogs, but like, what kind of snakes did you have?
Like a yellow and white boa constrictor.
How big was it?
Yeah. Man, I think it got to like 7'5", but we ended up getting rid of it, yeah.
Y'all had Wembenyama at the crib, bro. Like, that's
for sure. No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
And could it wrap around your arm and like constrict your arm?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But you never let it, you had never let it go around your neck for one. That's number one rule. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But don't people wear snakes around their neck, but I guess for this guy, you kind of have to keep him around the arm or maybe in the cage.
My dad always took the initiative not to even go that route, not to even play around with it like that. So if it started to wrap around, then he taught us how to just, you know what I'm saying, maneuver up under it.
Calm.
Push it over the top of our head to get up out of there.
Yeah. Calm and collected. Like,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
because I would be freaking out. Okay, so did you have, so you had the Cane Corso growing up? Was that your dog, or did you have?
No, I actually had a pit bull and yeah, two pit bulls.
Okay.
Yeah, my pit bulls were nice though. Our pit bulls never got into anything. Man, you'd be amazed at stories you hear now about pit bulls and what they're doing. But that's just bad breeding in my opinion.
I mean, the stigma's there, right? I mean,
Yeah, for
for
sure.
pits. I mean, I've seen very nice pit bulls, but I've also heard horror stories, man. I mean, they can
Yeah,
be out of
I've never
control
see
sometimes.
me personally. I've never met a pit bull that's actually tried to attack me, but you can't ignore everything you see because yeah, your story isn't everybody else's story.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. So you're like, I'm going to take matters in my own hands. Let's start Rare Soul. What year were you like, this, just to paint the timeline here, what year was
Yeah.
this like, this could be a realistic possibility to start a dog breeding company?
Well, I mean, from the moment that I thought about it, I just knew that's what I wanted to do. I started putting things in actions by calling one of my main resources in Dallas K9, just trying to figure out where the best breeds were, where the best bloodlines were, and I found a couple in Serbia, and then I found one in Rome,
Whoa,
Romania. I think that's what it is.
that's even
But those
crazier than
dogs,
Rome.
yeah. So
Romania.
those dogs weren't able to come over for a while because of no. I'm Ukraine. I'm tripping. These dogs were in Ukraine, but
Damn.
they couldn't come over because of the war. So the things that were going on, so they had to wait, and they came over at like 12 weeks or something like that. And so they were already pretty much big, which to my advantage, that's kind of what I needed to kind of take away the time of having to wait until they were able to go to heat. So I just started buying female puppies. I bought a couple studs as puppies, and then now we're at year 2 and year 3, and now we feel like they're at the stage where they're fully developed and we can start having litters. Some people use females and have litters at 18, 24 months, but we kind of wait until they're all big and grown up
Yeah. So
and then do our
you
thing.
started around 2022,
2021.
2021.
Yeah.
And I guess to start, you got to have a dog or a couple dogs. And so you were like,
Right.
let's go to Ukraine to get the dog. Like, well, there was no
Yeah,
dogs available
I
in
think I had to
Dallas.
travel. Yeah, I think I had to travel through there or something. Yeah, it was something. But like I said, the dogs weren't able to come over for a while. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, it helped because it's less boarding for me. But the dogs from Serbia, they were able to come over immediately, and my kids help so much. They don't even realize it. All the puppies we get, my kids get first dibs. So those puppies are growing up around the children for at least minimum 2-3 weeks before they're off to the kennel.
So, okay. So you started 2021, you get these dogs from across the world. Um, you know, what's going through your head in I guess this early part of the company? Like what was sort of your aspirations from the get-go of like what this could become?
Well, really, I was just trying to build my foundation. Really, I kind of skipped a step by getting the dogs first because it wasn't until 2024 until I got actual property. But I had great resources, and I have two people who helped board my dogs, and I bought them all kennels and everything they needed, 5x10 kennels, 6 foot high, so they have the space. Both spots that they were at and being boarded at, they were no less than 3 acres, so they had the space to run, and that's really what was important to me. While I waited until it was the right moment to find the space to where I can have everything in one. And man, as time went on, I told my dad about it, and he was head over heels about the opportunity about me doing it. He asked me to come in, and now him and his wife are pretty much the head of management and eyes on the company, which is a blessing for me because now I ain't got to worry about literally nothing. All management paperwork, everything though. There'll be eyes on the barn as we start renovations over the next couple of weeks of getting everything in order and the property right for the pups.
So you got your team. Like your team is your kind of family. So it's like a family run business.
Yeah, 100%.
Was that important to you versus trying to just get people that you thought were experts versus people that you see at the the dinner table every other week?
I wanted to be around some people that I knew would take care of the dogs amazing first and foremost, and would care for them on the daily. So we do a good job of making sure our dogs get one-on-one time, like with either my dad or his wife or our kennel tech, at least twice, 30 minutes a day. So it's not like a dog is in the kennel and not getting personal time with humans, and you know what I mean, have that clear head and that social vibe to them.
100%.
But that's even when they're older. But we do an even better job as puppies, making sure we go on field trips once a week, just to make sure that they're out and about. So when they go home to their new owners, that
They're
they're good.
socialized.
Yeah, yeah. They also have to pass like a four phase. I guess you could say, complete a four-phase task throughout their growth from the time they're born to the time they leave. Some people let their puppies go at 8 weeks, but we really don't base it off of that. We base it off them passing all four phases first before we allow them to go home with their new owners. So just trying to do things in a unique way.
What are the four phases to get a puppy cleared to go home to an owner?
Well, no, it's like it's not like necessarily like one thing, two things. It's like a series of things that they have to be able to do in order to get weaned off the mother from the
Yeah.
time they're born. Certain things they have to show before they start climbing up on things or jumping. Certain things they have to, you know what I'm saying? When their nutrition, their build, being able to stack correctly, being able to have the right temperament. And like I said, my kids are a big help in this, because I just put them around my kids, and then you can kind of see which ones are good and which ones need help doing this. And all dogs are different. That's the crazy thing about it. Some people can see 10 Cane Corsos and they all look the same, but I guarantee you there are 10 different personalities.
Is one of the phases, one of the requirements, when you put them around your kids, like, is one of them doesn't bite the kids? Like, as long as the dog doesn't tug on the kid's shirt?
Yeah, no nipping or jumping on people. So those are things that we make sure that your puppy will not do.
Yeah.
Prior to you getting it. And if it does, then it's obviously something you're going to have to, whatever we do, you're going to have to carry on at home. So that's one thing we preach as well.
Yeah, 100%. The dog breeding industry, and we've done a little bit of research, is fascinating. I think 2023 is on a $3 billion industry. It's growing around 3% each year. During the pandemic, it was like at an all-time high. And of course, it's tapered off a little bit because, now people can go to shelters and there's alternative things.
Yeah.
Like, in your opinion, because some people are, anti-dog breeder, but what do you think is the importance of, like, what value are you bringing to families through Rare Soul?
The ability to have a dog that you know is going to be loyal to you and your family. And that's the difference I want to make as far as being a breeder of the breed that I am. People have this, like you say, are the ears cropped? Oh, that's kind of intimidating. Yeah, it is intimidating off the look, but these dogs are, like I said, it depends on the breeder, but these dogs can be super loving and smart and do anything you need them to do in the time you need them to do it, if that's what you want. I think that's the beauty of the Cane Corso
100%.
breed.
100%.
It's huge, but you can. It fits on your couch like a cat.
Here's kind of like how I see it. A lot of the Cane Corso, the Malinois, the Bully, like, great guard dogs, and families really value protection. I also think that putting a dog through lots of training after you get the dog is probably it sounds, I could be wrong, but it feels more expensive than getting it from a breeder like yourself, who has already sort of tailored the dog to be more protective.
Right.
And, if I get a Cane Corso from the shelter, I don't know its history. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the tricky thing about these dogs, and I think that's what people fail to understand. Like, some dogs can come back from a lot of trauma that they've endured, but some dogs can also take that trauma out on you as the owner, and be reactive, and that's not you never want a reactive dog. Not saying that they're bad dogs and they can't be fixed or helped, but I'd rather not as a new puppy owner. I'd rather not start off with that.
Yeah. As someone like myself, our family we have 4 dogs. And some of them I think came from a breeder. The others we've done a couple of rescues.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's tough to reverse course on a dog's history. You can't teach old dog new tricks. Like, that's a real thing. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
No, it's
They are who they are at some point in time, and some dogs are more stubborn than the other.
Yeah, 100%. So let's get into, like, give us a glimpse in the future and talk about, I guess, what we see is like a 3-part catalog. You got the Cane Corso, you got the Belgian Malinois, and you got the Bully. So let's talk about the Cane Corso. Talk about the Cane Corsos that you're working with, and like, give us a little preview of what you got.
Man, I think we're working on 11 dogs right now. I think 8 of them are females. My number one stud right now, he just came from Serbia. From
That dog Jokic. Got
man,
the Jokic dog.
Right. And I believe that breeder knows Jokic's family. But anyways, he's about 180. His name's Apollo. So I'm sure you'll see him soon. And man, as far as Belgian Malinois, I think my best one is his name's Kraken. He's working on his PSA level 2 right now. I'm trying to get him up in the ranks to PSA level 3 if possible before his time. And as far as Malinois, man, you know what they do. We sell to
Yeah.
Dallas PD through my guy Dallas K9.
So you're selling that to police departments.
Yeah, a lot of our dogs. That's my connection for the Belgian Malinois is Dallas K9. So if I was to have any litters, then he would kind of be the head of that, and that's kind of more his catalog is. Dallas K9 is just people who want dogs to do the sport. So
Yeah.
that is a huge avenue. And then obviously the bullies. I'm big on changing perspectives. So that's why with the bullies, like, they're not necessarily pit bulls. They look exactly like them, but they're more on the friendly side. So when people meet the dogs that we have on the property, it immediately changes their perspective of the breed, and it goes from, oh, is that dog good, to playing with the dog and being around the dog as if it was your own.
Wait, can you walk me through the Bully again? So it's like a bigger pit bull, but it's not a pit bull. Like, what is that? What is that? The actual breed of it?
It comes from that. Obviously it comes from that line, but it's just more genetically and temperament wise. They're completely different dogs.
Okay.
Genetically, they're a lot bigger, and temperament wise, they're more of a pet home type of dog.
So less protective instinct, but still like can fill in in emergencies.
Right, 100%. More of a slouch. More not as active. Can be. Like I said, it depends on what type of your training you're doing with your puppy from the jump. I'm not sitting here telling you that one of my Cane Corsos that I produce and give to you won't turn out to be a protector naturally with no training. Like I said, I had Rocky over here. She's one of the puppies we produced. Isaiah Austin's girl. And I'd have her in the front yard, and anybody who ran by, she'd sprint to the yard and just walk right down, but would never bark, not one time. We could walk anywhere around the neighborhood. She sees somebody, she won't bark. But she just feels like she has to protect her area because she knows that the front of the yard has been hers for the last week. So when she sees something she's not familiar with, then obviously the dog is going to be who the dog is and what the breed is. But
so she marked her territory and it was up.
100%. But you call her right back, and now she's back to chilling with you and whoever you're with.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, so
And go ahead.
that's the beauty of what we want to try to do with the bully world as well.
So it sounds like sounds like the Cane Corso is kind of the first dog you started with. And now you're sort of developing these 3 funnels for now. You may expand.
Right.
But you know, I'm very interested to hear, like, how big do you want this to become? Like, how many dogs, like, do you want to, like, what does the expansion process look like for you guys?
Man, well, I've had 2 people helping me board for the last couple of years and helping me raise the pups. Now I really want to get, obviously, own land, own property. If I had to say it right now, just 2, all I really would need would be 2 big barns, and kind of build those out to however many kennels I may need for my RSK program, my RSK bully program, and then obviously for the Corsos as well. So just making the space
What is
dog
RSK?
friendly. Rare Soul Kennels. That's what you would. So if you got a puppy from me, you would name it RSK, whatever your name would be.
Okay.
That's AKC purposes, just so when you can keep track of your bloodline and all your breedings and stuff and your puppies when
Yeah.
people register.
Talk to me about the AKC. We've looked it up a little bit, but that's sort of the association where you have to register the ability to produce and breed. Like, what is your relationship? Like,
100%.
what did you have to do?
100%.
What'd you have to do?
I mean, no, you don't have to register your dog. You can get insurance for your dog, and that'd be good. But if you're looking to breed or you're looking to do anything officially with your dog, then having the AKC registration and having them know about your dog would be best, and that'll allow it to show. That'll allow your female to have puppies. That'll allow your male to be a stud for you of that nature.
And that's a
So we
simple
was
paperwork process, or you got to know a guy?
100%, yeah. It's just a simple paperwork process. So if I was to breed my female, which I did, I had to register her and the stud. And so when we had the litter, we let AKC know how many puppies we had, and then they give us a series of numbers. So it may be W8000101, and then the next one is W8000102, and then so and so forth
Sounds
for
like
all your puppies.
sounds like a tax identification invoice number.
Yeah, it's a way to keep track, and then whoever bought breeding rights with their puppies, you send them out their number. That way, they can now take that number and go register their puppy.
Okay. What do your teammates think about this? I mean, obviously you sold to Isaiah Austin, but like any of your Lakers teammates, like, hey, or your former teammates, like.
I mean, to be honest, man, I don't really talk about it too much around teammates. I kind of let it flow in the waves if it ever is a conversation, but.
Hey, you're.
I just want to make sure that my peers know that I'm focused on the right things in basketball. But I have a lot of other talents and a great team that allows me to do other things. So
Hey, you're no doubt. You're dog on the court making dogs off of it, right?
right.
For sure. Talk about so you have your kennel, which we'd love to visit in the Dallas area, and it's under construction. You're building sort of you're sort of now in this building phase to get it to this status of full-fledged different types of dogs in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is just a growing already a ginormous suburb, but seems to continuously be growing. There's clearly a market for the dogs that you're producing. Can you give us a glimpse in the construction of what's going on and what you're building it into?
Yeah, 100%. I'm really one barn is gonna be probably like about 15 kennels with the grooming area, place for us to wash them. Then we'll have a whelping room, super insulated and soundproof to where the mother won't be bothered or the puppies won't be bothered that are going through having new puppies. And then a food prep room. I mean, these are 30 by 50 barns, so they're pretty big. And we'll have the electricity and the outlets going over the top, so nothing runs to the ground while we spray and clean out kennels. a drainage system on the back end to be able to just literally power wash any accidents or anything right out the building. And then in the other barn, I would want to be able to house like up to 20 to 24 puppies total, just to be able to give them a separate space to do their thing and grow. So there'll be smaller kennels and a lot more quantity on that end.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And we won't drop the addy yet. We'll keep it undisclosed, but
Yeah, always.
yeah, always, always. So at full, I don't know, full capacity, if you will, how many dogs do you want in there?
Well, I mean, the more dogs you have, that's probably not a good sign. So the less puppies we have in there, the better. That means we're doing our job and getting them out to the right homes.
That's a really good point that you make. I think this brings up this, like, because I don't see across the dog breeding industry, like giant monopolies. They actually seem pretty small and boutique. We talked about this actually off camera. There's, regulations as you get bigger and bigger, but also it's like, if you have a bunch of dogs running around, it also poses the question of like, why aren't they with homes, Yeah,
100%. That's why you always have to regroup your program. And that's big. If we have puppies, 9 times out of 10, we would prefer to have all puppies sold before they're born. But even if they're not, whoever goes through the process of getting a puppy, I wouldn't want to compare it to this, but it's kind of like buying a house. Like, you got to sign paperwork. There has to be conversation that has to be had so you understand what comes with buying this puppy. There's do's and don'ts that we have that we kind of recommend you do. So it puts the puppy in the best position to grow correctly and continue to be great. And like I said, if we have 50 puppies running around there, that means we're not doing our job. So,
these some badass puppies, not trained. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? So we're not big on quantity. We want good quality puppies, and we're just taking our time. If I wanted 100 puppies or get a whole bunch of puppies just out the way and out into these families, I would have had 3 total. I would have had 4 total litters. I've already had 1, but we had a chance to have 3 more, but we skipped on their heat. And we wanted to give them 6 to 7 more months just to continue to develop and get stronger and get better. So
yeah, no doubt. Give me some of your favorite dog names. Like maybe you haven't named a dog this yet, but give me some dog names you rock with.
No, my favorite dog, well, I'll give you 3. I had a Malinois. He passed away, unfortunately. His name was Goku. So my son loved him, and I actually want to get another one and call him Goku. Kraken.
That's tough.
I'll tell you why we call him that. He's crazy, but in a good way. And then I would have to say Cane.
Okay.
Kane.
Knne. Is that after the WWE wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking, I like, and I don't have a dog that's named any of these names. If I were to get a new dog, I'm thinking like Ludacris, Fat Joe, Junior, because like after me.
Yeah.
Those are the only 3 I thought of, but like,
I like that. I like that Luda one.
Wouldn't Ludacris be a cool dog name? Like,
I might take that.
Luda.
Yeah, I might take that.
Yeah.
I might take that.
There's some good. There's some creative stuff you could do that is not just like totally over the top, but like it kind of flows. For sure. Well, cool, man. 5 years from now, what do you see this becoming?
5 years from now, I see us really scaling from the space we have now that we're trying to renovate now for the program to a pretty big facility. In my program, I want to have max 20 dogs at all times. Obviously, as years goes on, there's going to be females and males that will no longer be able to be in our program to help it scale. So we're now going through a process of finding 2 to 3 companies that will allow us to get on a program with them, whether it be retired military veterans or people who are in need and on the list for a companion, to be able to help rehome the dogs so they're in great situations.
I love that. I love that, man. Well, this is great. This is part 1 of
Yeah, man.
the Rare Soul Kennel project. Obviously, you have traction so far, but we're excited to come out there and see like the final product. You see the dogs, shed some light. But I think it's been a great sort of first step in getting the people excited about what's going on over there in the DFW area. So we appreciate you coming on and chatting about it.
No, yeah, man. Thank you, bro. It's a lot of great things happening, and like some of the wise would say, we just want to, we don't want to move fast. We want to move correctly.
100%. Well, this has been another great episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast. I've been your host, Noah Lack, with Taurean Prince, NBA veteran, Lakers forward, owner of and co-founder of Rare Soul Kennels. Talking a little dog, all right? Dog on the court, making dogs off there, right? That's the motto.
Dog all around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.